And welcome to our first live stream. Thanks for those of you who are joining us this evening. And thanks for taking the time to spend your Friday evening with us, because I'm sure there's plenty of other things that you could be doing. So the first thing I want to do is, because this is our first live stream, is make sure that you guys and ladies, but I know most of my viewers are
there might
gentlemen,
be some women,
is that you have audio. So if you can just confirm that you can both see and hear us, that would be helpful. So just let me know if you can hear the audio and the video quality is good. I'd appreciate it. Just want to make sure we're all set up before we get started.
Can they hear us?
Can you give me a thumbs up, or there's a little bit of
A delay?
Hello, how are you? Good, yeah, a little bit of a delay. Hey Jason, how you doing? And John Van Overen. Thanks John for watching.
It's short right now.
Audio's good. Appreciate that. This is our first live stream, so got a lot of new hardware set up this evening, and I want to make sure everything's looking good.
All right. Yeah, we're good. We're good. They can hear us.
The chat. I think this chat needs to be. Is that chat showing?
What? Yeah, because it's showing right there, right?
Oh, there it is. But I think this. There it is. See how it shows? It'll show over here too. Okay. So, hey Troy, how you doing?
No, that purple thing doesn't. Do you need that there?
Yeah, but see how it's. There's a chat session.
But you don't need that. All right, we're done. We're good. We're good.
All right.
It's all good.
I was just trying to make sure that they can see the chat
so anyway,
sessions.
This is what I did. This is everybody that joined the contest. So what do you want me to do with this? Do you want me to put it in a bag? Do you want me to like fold it up? What do you want me to do? Huh?
All right. So trying to make sure everything's good.
Everything is good.
So Melissa, my wife, if you've been watching the videos, she's going to be in charge of the drawing this evening for the hard shell backpack.
Where is that thing?
It's right behind you. So if you watched the previous videos, we were doing the DJI Mavic Air. Right here.
Oh.
DJI Mavic Air hard shell backpack giveaway, and that's really what this live feed's focused on this evening.
This is really nice.
It's very nice.
I should have kept this.
So this was sent to me by one of this company actually in the UK that asked me to do a review on it. So I already have a backpack that I'm using, a bigger one, because I'm also using it for my camera gear. So it's.
But what if I want to fly the Spark and I need a backpack for it?
Well, this is specific to the Mavic Air.
Oh, you can't do the Spark.
Now
with it?
I didn't.
Well, you can like cut out the stuff, right? To like do that.
Hang on one second. John can only see the chat if we do not do full screen. If you don't do full screen.
I can only see the chat if they don't do a full screen.
Oh, let me see.
So move that over.
Let me slide this over.
And then move me over? No?
Chat session. Here we go. Hang on. All right. Go ahead and let me see the chat session here. Testing chat session. I just moved the chat session over a little bit. Does that look a little better? You can see the chat in the window. Let me know if that chat looks a little better. I don't want to go right over my wife's face with the chat, but I want you guys to be able to see it.
Yeah, because it looks like it's going over my face, right?
So hopefully that, I slid the chat session over a little bit, so hopefully that helps.
You could you probably can't see my face, right, in the box.
Yeah,
Not that
this
it's a
is this is what they're seeing. This is something else. So
okay.
I think you'd be okay.
All right.
Yep, I can see it. Perfect. Thanks, Jason. So my wife went through all the folks that entered the contest, and part of the contest was you had to find the keyword or the code word, which obviously was Loki. Loki, if you don't know, was my dog, and he is locked up in the kitchen right now because he'll bark all the way through this thing. So Melissa went and...
That was my homework for today. I had to figure out how we were going to do the drawing. So what I did was I printed out all the comments and I cut it out, and now I'm putting it all together and I'm putting it in a bag and just randomly pick someone, because that's the only way to do it, right?
Yeah.
That would be the way to do it. So does anybody have any questions that they want to ask? Like,
Making sure this chat window is set up right.
oh, you want to see if it's set up?
Yeah, I just want to make sure that they're able to see everything.
Are they?
So,
I can't even see comments. I can't see from here.
yeah, Melissa needs her glasses or she can't see a whole
I'm
lot
blind.
on here. But she took the time today. She went through, we're trying to figure out the best way to do the giveaway. So I know there's some online tools you can use, but we didn't do any of that. We basically took everybody.
It's like the teacher thing.
Yeah, she's a teacher. So she went through all the comments, and I told her they had to use the keyword, code word Loki. And, you know, not everybody followed the directions exactly, but also, you know, state why you wanted or what you would use the backpack for.
Was the chat good?
Yeah, I think
So
they're
now we
okay.
can really talk and not worry about.
Yeah,
that?
so Melissa's only had the one flying session so far with the Spark.
Okay.
So
we're going to talk about that?
well, that was one of the questions. It's a little distracting because I have the live feed on this screen, and I have
Focus. You're not.
I have the lag that you guys are seeing on the
terrible
other screen.
at multitasking. Just want to let you know.
So it's just taking me a minute to get used to it. So
Okay, so just follow that one and not that one.
Yeah.
No, you're following that
I
one.
got two monitors up, and there's a lag on the one, which is the feed that you guys are seeing versus the one I'm talking into. So I'm just trying to get used to that.
Follow that one, right?
So Melissa's flying sessions are going good, I think. Melissa, how are your sessions going? She's only had one so far.
Okay, my thing is I really want to go over like water and do like the whole scenery thing, right? So I think that I should go to the beach and do that. And you could just put it on like beginner for me, right?
Yeah, so if you have the Spark, you know, you can put it in beginner mode, and beginner mode will keep it in like a 30-meter radius. So if you're learning to fly new, it's great because she just can't, you know, she's all ready to go flying over the ocean if I let her. So it keeps it in, like I was on basically a baseball field, so it keeps it within the baseball field without her going beyond that distance, and it works out really good. So. Yeah, I think that's a good way if you're trying to teach somebody how to fly the Spark for the first time.
We're talking about the next session.
The next session? We haven't discussed the next session.
Well, let's discuss. I think like if we go to the beach, that should be the next session, right? The beach? Yeah.
Yeah, the beach is a good place to learn to fly. If for those of you, like we're in New Jersey, so I'm not sure where everybody's from. Sorry, just starting to read a little of the comments. Does she
What?
fly? Oh, does she fly with glasses or not?
Yeah, that's the thing. I need to fly with glasses because I really can't see.
Well, that's one of the things. If you know, I don't know, just by a kind of a show of hands on here or comments, how many of you that are on here? It looks like I've probably got 5 viewers on here. Have the Spark.
It's the sun glare. That's.
Do you have the Spark, or are some of you using the DJI Mavic Air? Just by a show of hands. I'm just kind of curious which. Denver? Hey, Troy from Denver.
Oh, I love
Mavic Air or
Does he go
Spark.
snowboarding in Denver?
This one I write here. Where you put the Spark in tripod mode, so you can have a few. Right. Yeah. Tripod mode,
What did he say?
tripod mode, cinematic mode are both good. You're trying to teach somebody to fly. Spark. Okay, Troy, he's got the Spark. Jason's got the Spark and the Mavic Air. Nice. Man after my own heart. John, he's got the Air. Nice. So, yeah, most of you probably know I started off with the Spark, and the Spark's definitely a great drone to get started on.
What's tripod mode?
Tripod mode is going to, I don't know.
You don't know yet?
I think it slows. Yeah, it slows. I think it slows down the reaction time. I'd have to look it up, but I think it slows down the reaction time of the Spark, kind of like cinematic mode. Honestly, the differences between the two of them, I couldn't tell. I'd have to look. I'd have to look it up myself.
Yeah.
Traditionally, I have a standard setup I use for the Spark, and I have a standard setup I use for the Mavic Air. And a lot of what I've been playing with lately has been really geared around the capturing the video because it's the Mavic Air. You know, the Spark has captures in one video resolution. Many of you know, so it captures at high def 1980 by 1020, whereas the Mavic Air you can shoot in multiple resolutions, right? You can shoot in 4K, you can shoot in
but for learning, the Spark is much better.
Yeah. The point I was trying to make was that learning to fly the Spark is easy. Once what ends up happening is once you start flying these drones, and I'm sure the ones that have both, what you find out is you start to want to do more and more, at least me, editing with it, color correcting, starting to play around with.
But no, my thing is, if you know how to handle the Spark,
yeah,
you can go to the Mavic Air pretty quickly, right?
Jason slows down the movement. Yeah.
Oh, it slows down. That's what that does.
Yeah.
I don't know about slowing. It's too slow.
Yeah.
I like the sports mode thing.
Yeah, we haven't even talked. I haven't even gotten Melissa into sports mode yet. So sports mode is a whole other animal. I actually suggested when she was flying it for the first time, when she was out flying around in the video that I did, I asked her to flip the switch in sports mode, which she could have, tried it out. Sports mode for the first time, as many of you know, like the first time you flip that switch on that thing, it's like a little rocket.
We have that video that we were on the beach and you did that. You almost hit a lady. Well, you didn't really almost hit her, but it was pretty close.
To my defense, in that video, it's one of the first times I flipped it over in sports mode.
Oh, it was pretty funny.
There's a woman you see kind of coming in the background. She wasn't in the frame at the time when I was flying, and she comes jogging down the beach, and she came in the frame. So as I was coming back, it kind of zipped by her. So the beach was clear at the time.
Why you gotta redeem your? What's the difference?
Look,
it was an accident.
This is my covering.
What are you trying to
covering my?
Like you were aiming for someone? You weren't aiming for anybody.
Yeah.
She happened to be in the way.
Yeah, but if you're going to go fly on the beach in a lot of these public places, many of you know, best time to fly, because we go down to Ocean City in the summer, is fly early in the morning. Get down there early in the morning, or later in the evening when no one's there, and it's the perfect time. It's wide open. It's funny because we go down there and fly, and people sit out on their balconies and for hours sometimes just watching, and then we're down there all week. A lot of the
this guy says don't do it. Makes the turns go slow. Yeah, I don't really like slow stuff.
Yeah,
but I definitely want to learn. It's
well,
just
if you have the Spark, if you have the Spark, there's a couple ways you can do it. I just preferred to get her started in beginner mode. It limits the distance that the Spark can go. It keeps her kind of constrained in case she accidentally, goes off.
My whole thing is losing it. I like to see it. When I don't see it, I have to get used to that. And with the glasses and the glow, like when you're in the sun and they need to have like a shield or something that you can actually have it where if it's sunny out, you can see it without sun glare.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, you know, you have the phone in front of you, and
You
it's
can hear it.
definitely,
Thanks, Jason. We always can hear Loki. Always.
yeah, you definitely sometimes have a hard time reading the display on the phone. I know they make the protective cases to reduce the sun glare. You know, the less equipment, I'll be honest with you, the less equipment that I carry with me, the better, because a lot of times I got my Spark or Mavic Air, I've got my camera gear, which you can try to point camera gear,
Right there.
which you can see. You can see in the background, that's just some of the equipment. But you know, you're trying to film the stuff, and the fewer things that you can carry, the better. Point and case, the hard shell backpack case is a great idea to put all your stuff in. I put everything in there in the video. You can see I kind of threw my Mavic in there. I threw the extra propeller blades, the extra batteries, the cords, the charger. Everything, it fits. Everything fits really nice. So it's actually a really nice case because.
Well, also we make sandcastles in the summer.
Yeah, that's a separate video. That's a video for a different day.
Well, I'm just saying you have that too in the summer when we go onto the beach. So
Yeah. So
free wells.
sun shields for DJI. Yeah, Troy. The sun shields are great. I got nothing wrong with them. There's nothing wrong with them. They're probably a nice to have feature, but I'll be honest with you. Like I said, I just prefer to carry as little as possible when I get out there.
Why is it all big? The sun shield. I'm just saying, like, is it? I have to check that. Oh, it's like that.
Yeah, but it's just something you put on top of your phone.
Right.
That protects.
Yeah. But can you do the remotes while you're?
Yeah, I'll be honest. In a perfect scenario, I would actually probably have a tablet set up. If you have one, using a tablet over an iPhone or Android phone is obviously better because you have more real estate, more screen size.
Maybe we should set that up for me.
But like I said, a lot of times I'm just on the go and I'm trying to get some video, and my phone. A lot of times, I'll be honest with you, I'm filming during my lunch break at the office, or.
So John asked if we did a lot of photography before we got into the drones.
No, actually.
I did when I was younger.
But actually the reverse. As far as this whole YouTube creator content, Mavic Air footage, it started with the Spark, and then once I got the Spark and I got some video footage, I was like, okay, well, I want to upload it. I want to put it out there somewhere, and just for my own private, collection, saving it on a flash drive somewhere for no one else to see. I was like, well, that's kind of,
But still shots, he's kind of asking.
Yeah, no, we didn't really do a lot of photography. The Mavic, the Spark led into all the other stuff. So it started with the Spark, just getting out there, flying it, having a little fun, taking some pictures, taking some still shots, started off taking the video, and then that spun off into creating the channel and the Instagram accounts.
You really had the Spark. Why did we start with getting the Spark? I think it was to get pictures for our family because it was so big on the beach. No.
Yeah, well, that was one of the reasons we got it. I mean, I think I saw the video and I was like, "This is great. I got to have one of these," right? But then it was right before we went down the summer vacation down at Ocean City, Maryland, and we have a big family that probably, I don't know how many people do you think
that go there? Probably around 20.
Yeah, so we got 20, 30 people that show up, people coming and going, and to get a group picture is hard from just a normal perspective.
Right.
So putting the Spark up in the air and having it just shoot off a bunch of pictures, it's great. It takes some really nice family photos. Plus it'll sit there with the GPS built into it. It'll hover, hold its position.
Oh yeah, we did that too.
Yeah, you can get it to do some of the quick shot modes where it'll circle around. So it's just really cool to take family photos and stuff. So.
Oh, editing tutorial.
Yeah, Troy, with the editing tutorials.
He's really good at it too. You are.
Thanks, Pumpkin. Yeah, I plan on doing some editing tutorials. You saw I did some footage with the speed ramping around the flag and some other things. let me know kind of what kind of tutorials you might be interested in, and I can put something together. I'm no expert myself. I'm a year into this with, like I said, the YouTube channel and the photography piece and editing, and I've got, just so you get a little background, I've purchased Adobe Photoshop Creative Creative Cloud. Adobe, what is it?
I don't know, it's like that package.
Adobe Premiere Pro Creative Cloud 2018, which is a monthly, pay a monthly service fee for it, but it comes with every.
Don't you get a discount too?
Yeah, my wife Melissa's a teacher, so you get a discount, but it comes with every software suite that Adobe makes. So you get Lightroom, Photoshop, the Adobe.
But you can buy
Premiere.
one piece. You don't have to buy the whole package, right? I'm just saying, like, if you do a tutorial, you could tell them that you don't have to pay for the whole
The
thing.
point is, I'm using Adobe Premiere Pro Creative Cloud, so that's the software I'm using. I was using Adobe Premiere Elements 14, and I've been converting over to the Creative Cloud solution because you can do a lot more with it. Now, if you're using an Apple product, you're probably using, what's the other one that Apple's using? You're using, there's another software package that you use with the Apple products. But yeah, bottom line is, yeah, I can certainly do some tutorials. Just it's a matter of what people are interested in, and being that I'm just learning myself, what I try to do is put videos together that seem clear and concise. And I'll be honest with you, I'm still learning some of this stuff myself, so I could certainly put some stuff together, but I'm no expert. I have to go through it very methodically, step by step, like to get some of the speed ramping images that you saw where I'm going around the flag and stuff. Those come out really sharp and they make some interesting video, but it takes a little trial and error to get it just right.
Right, but the whole thing is that you learned so fast on that stuff that you can probably do tutorials on it, so everyone will not have to be searching the YouTube to figure out how to actually work it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like I don't have any patience for that.
Yeah, it takes time. It takes time to edit the footage, and depending on what size video files you're editing, especially if you're uploading them to YouTube.
And if you have a significant other, because it takes hours to do.
Yeah,
it really does.
Like I'm fortunate because my wife obviously is participating in this, because if I was sitting online on a Friday night after a long work week, a lot of wives might have an issue with that. Well, but she's learning how to fly the Spark. Maybe not yet. We got to get her solid with the Spark. We'll get her on the Mavic Air. But then the next step would be to do some air-to-air footage. So
what?
Yeah, we're going high tech. So where maybe she's flying the Spark and I'm flying the Mavic Air, and we can get some nice aerial shots of both drones in the air.
So I'm flying and you're flying and we're gonna cross. You won't even let me go over water. How are you gonna let me do that?
That's the goal. If you can have
you know what's really good? You'll know I'm a pro when I go over water and I'm just like really close to it and I get a nice thing. Right? That's a good shot right there.
That is a good shot.
But,
flying. Just so you know, I shoot a lot of video where I'm very low to the ground. I like flying over water. I like flying very low to the water. It just makes a really nice, gives you a really nice image. But it can be tricky. I've heard plenty of people crashing their Sparks and their Mavic Airs when trying to do that. I've never had an issue.
Yeah, but wait.
Knock on wood.
But doesn't it give you the thing, like it'd come back up if it's going to like smash into you or?
There's an issue where if you're flying over the water with the reflective surfaces can sometimes cause an issue with the sensors reading reading where the water is and creating an issue with the distance that the spark is, how high it is or low it is. So
Right.
it's tricky. The best advice I can give you when flying over the water is definitely keep it within a reasonable range where you have a good visual on it, because the further out I go, if I'm flying over a lake or over the ocean, the further out I go, the more buffer I try to give myself as far as how close it is to the water and how high it is in the air. But it makes for some great footage. But if you're doing anything like over water reflective surfaces, it can be an issue. And the other thing is, you noticed I've done some videos, and you see some links in my YouTube channel. The ND filters. You don't have ND filters. They're great.
Oh, someone wants to know what do I teach? What my age is. Oh, what age group? I am the best teacher ever. I'm a phys ed teacher, middle school, and health.
Right. So 6,
It's
7.
a good grade.
6,
6,
7,
7th, and 8th. Yeah.
Yep.
And I'd like to teach my wife to edit the videos, Woodsman said, and then he can do the flying. Yeah, you do the fun stuff, and then she sits there and edits. Yeah, it's actually, I don't mind editing, but you do so much. Like I don't know. I don't have the patience.
Yeah. John's asking, do I shut off the sensors? I don't, honestly, John. I leave all the sensors. I don't know if you're talking about the Spark, specifically the Mavic Air, but let's say you're talking about the Mavic Air. It really doesn't matter. I typically don't shut the sensors off. The only time I've had an issue with the sensors is I was shooting one time on a balcony.
Oh, I remember that.
I was shooting one time on a balcony, and it was one of the first times I was
We
flying.
were in Ocean City, Maryland, on a high-rise.
Yeah, it was about 23 stories up, or pretty high on a high-rise building, out in the patio, out in the deck or the patio off the back. And I launched the Spark. Heading toward the ocean, so the launch was no problem, just a hand launch, and it took off. And when I was trying to get a nice shot where it was backing away, and you get a nice picture of the building, it turned out
the bay in the background. We
Yeah.
have that video.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
It's in one of the real early videos. But when I tried to bring it back, and I was flying the Spark toward me, the building was right behind me, so the sensors were picking up the building. So every time I'd go to reach for the thing, and I was standing on the balcony, it would back up, it would back up, it would back up. And it was one of the first times I had flown the Spark, so I gave it full throttle forward, basically banged it into the wall behind me, and fortunately it landed on the patio. None of the propellers broke, nothing was cracked, everything was fine.
I remember that.
But at that point, I learned not to launch your drone from a balcony of a building, because it creates an issue when the drone's trying to come back into you, and how close the walls are and the balcony is to you. It sends the sensors into a frenzy.
Yeah, you almost didn't get that thing back.
Yeah.
Well, you would probably have to just land it on the floor and then go down like
Yeah.
whatever flights.
So lesson learned. I don't recommend launching from the balconies.
Jason said, "Can you do a tutorial on flying low over the water?" I'll do that. Can I do that? When I'm good,
Who asked
do
that? Jason. Yeah, thanks, Jason. Nice job.
And Troy said, "Low flying backwards is fun."
Yeah.
Is it easier to fly backwards low?
I agree, Troy. Low, that's one of my favorite things to do. Low flying and backwards, not just because it's fun, but I think it gives a great, my perception when I look at the video is, I just like the way the video looks. I think it looks really cool when you're shooting, bringing the drone back toward you. I just think it gives a nice effect.
That's going to be my goal, is to be able to fly low over the water.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's going to take me a while, but I'll do it.
Yeah, one of the things I've been playing with a lot lately, and especially because I upload all my videos to YouTube, is all the camera settings for the Mavic Air. So, you can shoot at 24 frames per second, 30 frames per second, 60 frames per second, and then all the different video resolutions. From everything I've seen, and everything, I watch other people's channels as well, other creators, not just people flying drones and Mavic Airs, but people putting content out there for the videos. I think some of the best picture quality you get for YouTube is shot at 24 frames per second. It just looks more natural than some of the other frame rates.
Woodsman said that she's only playing, that his wife would rather fly, and they fly the Spark in the air, so they're good. I know you're being a typical husband saying your wife to do the dirty work. I get it. I get it.
So yeah, so Melissa, I'm going to get Melissa out there. Unfortunately, I think I was looking at the weather for this weekend, and
It's not good.
yeah, the weather lately has been really hit or miss. So trying to get some nice weather. I think she did really good for her first time out. I mean, you saw her doing the hand catches and the hand launches.
I know. I just have to learn how to use like the actual, how to set it up, how to turn it on, how to do it myself. Like, things that I'll forget. That's what I need to do. To fly it's easy. Like, give me the remote and fly it. But I need to like learn what everything means.
Yeah, I'm still at the point where I'm getting it set up for her. I'm kind of still.
Well, I only did it once.
Yeah. The best. If you saw the video, one of the first things you always want to do is make sure that obviously you're in an open area, but that your return to home point's always set. Can't stress that enough. Always return to home point's always set. In case you have any problem at all, it's easy to get back.
I should have a checklist.
And make sure that your compass is calibrated. The only time I typically have to recalibrate my compass is if I do a lot of flying off of bridges and stuff too. So you'll see a lot of the videos where I'm on a steel bridge or metal bridge, or even there's high. We live in New Jersey, so a lot of high voltage wires and things nearby, so you get interference from that stuff.
A lot of train stuff.
Trains, railroads. Probably hear a train behind us later on this evening, depending on how long we're on here for. But you'll have to recalibrate your compass when you're near these things. One word of caution, and this is just
from experience.
Is
I remember
was down at the beach, down at the shore, and pretty much it was wide open. There was really nothing around, but we were on the boardwalk, and on the boardwalk was this metal rail, and the metal rail ran all the way down the boardwalk. And I was standing probably just a foot or two away from the metal rail, and it was saying calibrate compass, calibrate compass. So I calibrated the compass. It said okay, but I know with 100% certainty that calibrating that compass near that type of steel structure, the compass didn't calibrate properly.
It threw it off.
And
right?
the minute that I launched it, it just took off down the beach. Fortunately, there was another.
Yeah, and it just like landed right in the sand, like a ways away.
Well, I landed it, but there was another kid down the beach that apparently had another one of the DJI products, and he was kind of laughing. He's like, "Yeah, that happened to me too." So, another word of caution: don't calibrate your compass near any high interference
like
type
metal
objects.
Structures.
Metal structures, steel structures, electrical lines, things like that. When you calibrate it, it's not going to calibrate properly, and the compass is going to be off. So just something to keep in mind.
So John said it was nice to see how excited that I was after a little while. Yeah, because I like to learn new stuff. And Troy said, if I recall one of your first videos, you had the Spark and you were satisfied with it. Why did you get the Mavic Air? What's easier to travel with? Well, another toy. I'm sure that's why you got it.
Yeah. It's like anything. It's like upgrading from, any. It's like having a camera and a camera lens. Well, just because you have one camera lens doesn't mean you don't want to have a
why did you get the
second
Mavic
camera
Air?
lens.
Like,
well, I got the Spark.
More bells and whistles.
Yeah, more bells and whistles. I mean, when I got the Spark and loved the Spark, it's great to fly around, but I kind of also outgrew the Spark a little bit, especially when I saw what the Mavic Air could do, and I knew that I was going to post more and more video to YouTube. I wanted to really start to get into different video resolutions, like I said, the frame rates.
I know one thing that's different.
Color correcting. I really wanted to
the Mavic Air. When you turn, it turns smoother than if you were to do the Spark, right?
Well, the other big selling point for me was the 3-axis gimbal. So the Spark's only got the 2-axis gimbal, and the Mavic Air's got the 3-axis gimbal. So the footage as you're transitioning and moving the Mavic Air around, it's a much smoother look to it. That was one of the things.
And he also asked what's easier to travel with. We travel in the airports and we get stopped all the time. So
Yeah,
really
I think the first trip we went out of the country with the Spark, I didn't have any issue. I think we went to Puerto Rico. Where'd we go?
Dominican.
Dominican Republic, and I got a permit to fly in that country. It wasn't a big deal.
All over
Yeah,
the resort.
Yeah, I flew all over the resort. Didn't have a single issue. Like I said, I got all the paperwork. It was all legit. And then the other times I've flown, and just recently we're out in Oregon, took the Mavic Air, and the only thing I would recommend is the airlines have different regulations. Every airport's a bit different, but long story short is take your batteries out of their, take the battery out of the Mavic Air or the Spark, whatever you have. Put it in its own
A separate bin.
If you're
But we let them know right away. They just check it.
Yeah, but real quick, what you want to do is you don't want to pack your batteries with your checked luggage. You want to bring it in your carry-on luggage. And there's limitations with battery sizes. You're fine with your Mavic Air and Spark. You just want to separate the batteries so that they're never touching, because it can create a spark and a fire and this kind of stuff. So just try to discharge your batteries as much as possible when traveling with them. Put them in with bring them with your carry-on items, and take a piece of black electrical tape and just run the tape across the whatever you call it, the metal portion there, just so one battery will never touch another battery. We never had an issue. Went through the airports, no problem. If you really want to just whiz through the security checkpoints, I'll be honest with you. It's not a security issue. It's never a problem. Tell the guys, hey, I got a bunch of camera equipment in here. I got my drone in here. I'm just letting you know. Do you want me to separate all this stuff out? If you give them the heads up as you're going through the security checks.
Yeah, they check it before it even goes through, and then they put it through instead of doing it.
Yeah, but if you give them a heads up before you go through the security checks, they're less likely to give you a hard time about it, and you know exactly what's coming through. I've never had an issue, knock on wood. So.
All right, so Woodsman said his questions.
All right, well, I wanted to answer that one.
That
thoroughly.
was answered.
But that's a big question. That's a really good question. It's a big one.
Well, he was wondering really probably for the size, but anyway. He has a 2011, Woodsman has a 2011 MacBook Pro, but it doesn't do 4K videos, too much lag. I just do everything in 1080p. Yeah. Are you using a Mac? Well, I have a Mac.
No, my wife's using the Mac, and I tried to learn the Mac, and I'm honestly a Windows guy. I've been using Windows forever. So I'm using Windows, and if you're uploading to YouTube, I'll be honest with you, 1080p is just fine. You'll do fine with 1080p, unless, I've done very, very little video editing with the 4K video stuff. I have a FiOS connection coming into the house, so I have a high.
I'll show my Mac.
Oh, yeah. So I have FiOS connection coming in the house, so my upload speeds when I'm uploading videos is great. But if you start crunching 4K videos, it's very CPU intensive, and you're gonna get a lot of lag. You're gonna have issues depending on what kind of machine you have, and unless it's really built for video editing, you're gonna have some issues.
Do you do 4K?
I do very little with 4K. Most of the stuff I'm shooting is 1080p or 2.7K, and that's fine for YouTube. And if you're posting to Instagram, that's a whole other thing. For Instagram, your video quality and your video settings can be significantly less to post to Instagram than stuff you're uploading to YouTube. So I wouldn't be too concerned about the 4K stuff, I'll be honest with you.
Okay, let's see, what do we got here?
Do you want to? Let me see. So we're already 44 minutes into this live stream. So what do you say that I have the missus select the winner?
Oh, we're ready.
For the back. Well, we're 44 minutes in, Pumpkin.
Okay. YouTube converts them anyway, doesn't it?
Yeah. So whatever video footage you upload to YouTube or whatever other social media site, it's going to the YouTube, Instagram. It's going to do its own compression as well. I'll be honest with you. I would have to do. I could do a whole video for you guys on file compression and what type of settings I'm using in Adobe Premiere Pro Creative Cloud with frame rates, bit rates, VBR. I honestly have a binder, a checklist that I kind of go through
He
for my
has
settings.
folders on everything, just to let you know.
So it makes a difference, but it's trial and error. Like a lot of the stuff that there's you can go on YouTube and watch some of this stuff, and people are all making their own personal recommendations, but a lot of it's trial and error. I'll shoot some video. Everything has to work together. So you can shoot the best 4K video in the world or the best 2.7K video in the world or whatever it is, and then you have to edit it and render it and save it. So you're going to compress that file a lot of times. You're going to either up-res it or down-res it, depending on what you're doing. And then you're going to upload it to whatever social media site like YouTube. So it's going to now do a further compression. So all this stuff has to work together for the best video quality. So I play around with a lot of the settings to see what works best for me for my videos.
Nice.
And trial and error. The more videos you do and the more uploads you do, you're going to find the settings that work best for you. Like I said, I think the 24 frame rates for video on YouTube look really good. If you're just viewing it for your own personal pleasure like I have a 4K monitor, that's a different story. But
all right, SD card recommendations for the Spark.
Oh, SD card recommendations. I'll be honest with you. Just go to Google.
Don't you have a link for that?
Yeah. I'll tell you real quick. A lot of times I just go to the DJI website, DJI Spark specs website, or I type in DJI Spark specs, and on their specs page, it tells you the recommended SD card. So they recommend the SanDisk 16/32 gig.
Which one do you use?
UHS 1-1 micro. These are all micro SDHC cards. I have a SanDisk. You can use Kingston, Samsung. There's a bunch of them, but it's on the www.dji.com/spark/info, and they give a list of the recommended micro SD cards for the Spark. You can do the same thing for the Mavic Air. I strongly would encourage you to use the recommended cards specifically, especially for the Mavic Air, because it shoots in 4K. If you don't have the right SD card, you're not going to be able to capture the footage. It's got to be a really fast card. So, a good question. But you can find those specific specs on that DJI site. Just like I said, Google DJI Spark specs, and you'll see all the recommended ones right there.
Very good.
Yeah, I'm pretty organized. Like I said, I have a binder sitting behind my desk here.
He's
Instagram.
You don't
videos.
even know.
It depends what we're doing. Like I said, my wife.
He's organized with everything. Everything organized. Me? No.
Well, again, because this is just a part-time thing for us too. It's not something I'm doing full time. If I got to the point where I was doing this full time, I'd have all this stuff committed to memory. But this is just something I'm doing on the side.
No, your everything is organized.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
SD cards with Spark. I use PNY 128 gig. Don't have any issues. Okay, that's good. Yeah, Jason. I mean, if you're not having any issues with it, good to know. You're using the PNY 128 gig for your Spark. I don't think I saw that one.
It doesn't matter.
On their I was just looking. I don't think I saw that one on their.
But that's the one he uses.
On their recommended list. But good to know. Just for other folks that might want to give it a try.
Okay, so am I supposed to pick the winner out?
Yeah, so this is our unofficial way to pick the winner. We don't really have a good system yet for this.
I think this is a fair system.
So we just took all the names, sliced them up. My wife wasn't, but go ahead, you explain it.
I screenshotted every comment. Of course, I wasn't at work when I did this because that would just be, I was working. It was on my break.
Right.
I screenshotted every one and I printed it up on paper and I cut them out and I put them in little pieces of paper and
John's asking, yeah, what kind of job? I'm actually a a, what's the formal title? Principal engineer for one of the largest telecommunication companies out there. We'll leave it at that. So 25 years in telecommunications. So yeah, I'm a tech guy. So no surprise there.
Am I picking?
Yeah.
Wait, before I pick, if we were to travel anywhere to take pictures with your drone or your Spark, where would it be?
For me personally, from all the pictures and images I've seen, I think
I know what you're gonna pick.
Iceland.
Iceland.
Iceland. If you've, I don't know if
It's
any.
too cold in Iceland.
And if anybody else has seen some of the pictures and drone footage and stuff that these guys take when in Iceland, provided the winds aren't too bad, and
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
you can really get some beautiful shots.
Yeah. All right. Am I picking? Do you want to pick?
No, go ahead. You can pick. I put the missus is in charge of this, so any comments you can send to her.
If you didn't win.
If you didn't win, her email address is. Oh, wait. Yeah, so I set this. I set this up for. Where is it?
I'm trying to shuffle these up.
Here it is. So this will be the email address. It should come up on your screen in just a moment. RGMG backpack giveaway at gmail.com. So that'll be the email address for the winner to get in touch with us, and we will mail this out to you.
Just trying to like shuffle them.
We'll mail it wherever you are. Hopefully you're somewhere.
Loki should pick the winner. Yeah, he'll eat the thing.
Somewhere that
Loki's locked up.
we can deliver this
Poor
thing
puppy.
to, but
All right,
just,
you ready?
just shoot an email to this address with your contact, with your name and address. And what I'm going to ask Melissa to do too is pick two winners, because if the person that wins doesn't get in touch with us, we're going to pick
What if he does?
pick an alternate. Well, let's.
All right, so let's pick two. We'll pick one, and then we'll
We'll
pick
pick
another
the
one.
winner.
All right, and if this first two, then I get to keep the backpack.
No, no, this is a giveaway.
Yeah,
Right.
but if the first two doesn't do it, then I get to keep it. I'll make it into something.
We'll be giving this thing away. All right.
All right,
You
ready?
got all mixed up?
Yeah, I
No.
think I do. All right, ready? Okay. Daily Fortnite tips. Of course, Fortnite. Like it's like a kid. This must be a kid.
Let me see. All right. Let me see what the comment was. Code words Loki. Okay.
You did it.
And I need it because I spend all my money
On my drone.
on my drone, and real life have bought a case.
Can
But
I? Let me read it.
But the budget for the case would be helpful. Have a budget. Okay, so it's the winner is daily
Fortnite tips.
Fortnite tips.
Put it up
And
there.
I don't know if there be a daily,
That's number one.
right?
Right. So if
So
daily
that's-
Fortnite doesn't come
So
get back to
daily
us,
Fortnite, we're gonna. What kind of time frame do we want to give them to get in touch with us?
I like that. What?
What kind of time frame do we want to give them?
We'll give them a week. A week.
So
So by
daily
next
Fortnite,
Friday, if he doesn't get in touch with us, second place gets it.
right?
Well, second place can get in touch with us before.
You have, all right, here's the rule. You have till Friday this time next week, actually we'll say 8 p.m. to get in touch with us. If you don't get in touch with us by then at this email address, rgmgbackpackgiveaway@gmail.com, then
second place.
the second place winner,
That was nice, Jason.
yeah, the second place winner
Congratulations. Okay.
will
Second place
be
is Big Drone Flyer 77.
Big Drone
Wait
Flyer.
a minute. He didn't really say that Loki was the
Let me
key
see.
word.
Well, he's the backup, so let me see.
But does that matter?
Big Drone Flyer 77. Wonder if you heard any more of the firmware update. Was new to your channel. Appreciate. Cheers. We're being a little flexible. So even
Oh,
though
you're so
he didn't have the
nice.
code word, Big Drone Flyer 77, you'll be our backup, our alternate winner. And
Yes.
should we do a third one just in case? I don't know. Like, this is new to us, so I don't know. How many of our subscribers come back regularly check this stuff.
I feel really short next to you.
Plus we're 55 minutes into this
Okay,
video.
why is my chair much shorter than yours?
We're 55 minutes
Okay,
into
next
this.
time we do a live, I want a chair that's up higher.
You'll sit over here?
No.
I'm over on this side because I gotta operate.
I know, but your chair is much higher than mine. That's not fair.
gotta
I'm short to begin with.
I gotta operate the equipment over here.
All right. We'll do a third, but I doubt we're going to need a third because I think these two are going to. So the first one to get, it's not the first one. That guy won first, but if the other guy doesn't get in touch with us, he gets the other one, right? So we are doing a third?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, let's do a third. All right. Ready?
Have all night. It's Friday. Way to go, Donnie. Did I lose the... Oh, it's still there. Okay.
Jan 3. Jan L. That's third place.
All
And
right,
Jan will
third.
probably get back to them because,
Jan, well, I don't know. All right. So
What?
Jan's number 3. Jan L, 1 week. Loki, because I need one. So...
See, that was fair.
No, right. No, I want to be fair, and I really do want to give the backpack away. Like I said, so I don't know how many of the people that subscribed or entered the contest are regular subscribers to the channel as well. Some people may just have seen the free giveaway and put some comments in, but we never see them again. So for everybody that's tuned in tonight, we're 56 minutes in, and it was. I hope this was helpful. I don't know if you can. Yeah, I guess you can. If this was helpful for you, let me see.
What?
Can you do? Yeah.
What?
I was just trying to see if there's a way to.
It's right here. They have it. They could do it right here. See? What's with the sunglasses?
No, I was just testing. I'm still feeling this stuff out with the screen. But if this, where'd it go? If this live stream, if some of the information was helpful to you, found the information valuable, please give it a thumbs up. We'd appreciate it.
It's all good.
I hope the giveaway was a little bit of fun. We'll find maybe some more giveaways to do, depending on what kind of sponsors and stuff we got. Like I said, this was sent to me for free. I actually had a whole list of things that a hobby shop was going to send me, but I'll be honest with you, I didn't want to recommend some of the products that they were offering because I myself wouldn't.
Well, maybe your viewers might want it.
Wouldn't have purchased them.
But what was the hobby shop's name? Because you got to give them a shout out, right?
I'd have to go back in the videos and look. But
thanks, Troy.
But I appreciate anything that people want to send me to demo or to try or do a review on. But I also want to be honest with the viewers and the people watching. If I myself don't feel that I'm going to use or purchase a specific product,
right,
then I don't want to recommend it to other people.
But the backpack we would use.
Well, for example, case in point, they wanted to send me a landing pad, and the landing pad, okay, that has practical purposes, but it also would light up. It had LEDs built into it for night flying and things like that. Well, in the U.S., we can't do any night flying here, so
really,
yeah, so it just wasn't something that I would purchase.
Yeah,
so,
that's a
and
question.
I do a lot of hand launching anyway.
Right.
So,
but the night flying thing, what's the sense of having night flying? Like you can't see anything. Well, I guess like in the city, probably the lights.
you can your drone has lights on it. You can see. Plus, you have your navigation system.
No, I'm saying, what are you taking pictures of at night?
Night. There's something called night photography, where you can take skyline pictures. There's plenty of things you can take pictures of at night.
Can you put a lens on there that you can? Your viewers might need to know this. Can you put a lens on your drone?
Does your wife make you crazy sometimes with questions?
I'm just.
Wait,
it's a question.
She's going off topic. My point was.
Wait. Can I just ask you a question?
I'm not going to know the answer to this. Go ahead. What?
Do you know the lenses that you put on your drone? Like you put on
The
those
ND
little
the ND filters.
the filters. Can you use one for nighttime? You don't know that.
Anybody want to answer my wife's question about if you're flying at night? If you're flying at night, which ND filter would you recommend? Anybody want to answer that one?
When Melissa keeps roasting you, I'm not really roasting. I'm asking a question.
ND filters at night, folks. Anybody want to take a crack at this one? I got a really nice ND 100 filter. How do we think that would work?
What? But that's what I'm saying. If there's, I don't know. She sounds like my wife.
Yeah. So you guys can appreciate. I know you. I know that my audience can appreciate the humor in this. Because when I look at I'll give you a little. So when I look at my statistics, my analytics on my YouTube channel, it's mostly men between like
no filter at night.
35 and 50, somewhere in that range. Which probably guys like me, married, and when your wife asks you silly questions, you just kind of laugh. But yeah, so.
Yeah, but wait, this is my question. All right, everyone says no filter at night, but how are you supposed to see the stuff at night if you don't have it lit up? You just see what do you see?
So we'll save this one for a separate video.
Well, that's my question. All right, I'll do my homework and.
But we're.
I should YouTube nighttime flying.
Yeah, but we're almost 1 hour in. And I think it was so we're about 1 hour in, and I think this was a really good first YouTube live. I think I appreciate everyone.
Jason says I think all wives are like that.
Yeah, they are. I'll be honest with you. I give Melissa a hard time. She's a really good wife.
Thanks, honey.
I know that not every wife would go out there and fly, with their husband. And it definitely helps. It makes it a little easier to put these videos out. She understands that it takes some time to do the editing and get the footage and this and that. So
unfilter. I told her the answer. Very funny. Very funny.
Thanks, Woodsman.
Still didn't answer my question though. Really didn't.
Yeah. See John's answer. See that all black video.
Yeah.
That's your answer. You can't put an ND filter on it.
See, but you need city lights to see anything, right?
Yeah,
Just adjust the ISO, and I know you need to install a strobe if you're flying at night.
Right.
All right. We need to.
We're not going to get into.
We'll do our homework.
Yeah, ISO,
You'll do your
aperture,
homework.
Shutter speed. Those are conversations for another evening.
Yes. All right, are you ready? Shut it down.
But I think that's about it. So
it's been fun.
Thank you, everyone who tuned in this evening. We do appreciate that it wasn't crickets on here tonight, and that we actually had some viewers. Looks like we had 10 to 11 viewers on the live stream tonight, which is a good start. So
Mio.
Thank you very much.
Oh, thanks, Mio.
Really fun. Good. I'm glad you got some value out of it. So we'll try to. I wanted to keep it light and wanted to have a good time with you guys tonight. So hopefully it was semi-entertaining. It was our first time doing this, so bear with us as we kind of work our way through the process ourselves. And everybody have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your Friday evening. It's 9 p.m. here. Not sure where it is where you're at, but anything you want to leave them with? Any food for thought?
No, as soon as the weather is nice, I'll be flying more.
Yeah, as soon as we get some nice weather, I'll post another video with Melissa flying. And I'll definitely take into consideration some video editing.
And I appreciate the positive feedback. It's very nice.
All right. I think that's it. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye.
Let's see.